Now we should get it. So I just tried like a minute ago, and basically like my OBS output was trying to output 4K, which is not going to happen. OBS was not happy with it, and YouTube was not happy with it. So we should be good to go now. So and hopefully we sound okay. I got the AC running again. We're down off 100 degrees down to 80 degrees. All right, so we should be back. Cool. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about today. Iron butterflies. Someone asked me like, how do you profit on iron butterflies, and then also just about Robinhood closing out plays. When they close them out early for you, I had one that was closed out on Friday, excuse me, for me. And if it had happened to go to expiration, I would have made quite a bit more, but that's how it is. And they left me with one leg, and after it happened to me, it really made sense why they left just the one leg out of 4. It was an iron butterfly on Tesla, and the only leg that they left open was the covered call. And the covered call made sense to leave it, just because that play is going to be fine either way. Either I'm going to sell shares at that strike price, or it's going to end up expiring worthless. So I think that was okay. And so that makes sense. And then if you need to close it, you just have to close it manually. I didn't pay attention to the very end. I was like, what is this call? And I was like, oh crap. If Tesla would have ended up above 680, would have lost. My iron butterfly, so there was one that ended up way out of the money, and then one we profited, and actually we are up 484% on the 480 strike price. So actually I went ahead and made some slides on this, just to make sure everybody kind of understands iron butterfly here. And this was, and I assume this is the one you were talking about. It was a 675, 680, 685. I opened it up the day before, so I opened it up on Thursday. It cost me $50 was all, so that was my maximum loss. But I had $500 collateral out, but $450 credit. So that was, $50 was just my max loss. Super cheap play. And since it closed down an hour before, I let it run out all the way. Robinhood automatically closes things even when you don't want them to. But in reality, if they had not closed it out, and let's say I didn't close it out, I would have had things that just expired completely worthless, which would have sucked worse than them closing it out. So it closed out 3 of the legs, left the short call, which basically puts 100 shares at risk. So it ended up fine, just because Tesla ended up below 680. So this is how it ended up. $50, closed it out. It cost me whatever the opposite of this, so it cost me $258 to close it. So that was $242 was my profit, a 484% gain. I would have been up 700%, so $50 into $350 if I wasn't forced to close it. And we can actually, I kept it, and this will be pretty interesting. I should have put this on a slide here, but basically this is what happened as it was on its way down. So like at opening, I was a little bit down on it, and then, you know, as the day continued, it would cost me less. And this cost going down is the cost to close it. So let's see, I don't remember what time I made the video, maybe like 9 o'clock or so. So we were up quite a bit on it, but then just as time went on, and Tesla thankfully just held right around that 680 level. I think it closed me out about 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's going to be about right. So $200 and some to close it. It left the long call leg out, but you can see if I could have held it until actual expiration, it would have been 141, and that's where that's what I would have paid to close it. So I received $450 credit. I would have paid $141 to close it. So that's where I see the $300 and some gain. But I want to look a little bit more at just an iron iron butterfly for anybody who doesn't exactly understand it. It's kind of cool. So I used what is it, option strat, and I like this. I think it's pretty clean. Let me make sure my melon dome is out of the way so we can see this. So basically an iron condor is just a put credit spread and a bull credit spread smushed together. And so if we look at this is a put credit spread. I mean, we kind of know what this looks like, I would think. So this is basically, you have a strike price where you're break even, and this is looking at a 680, 665. So that would be selling the 680, buying the 665. This is would be a regular put credit spread. And we can see we would have $1,500 margin out and receive a credit of 610 if we were to play this play alone. So right, and then anything here on the upside, that's all 100% profit. So if it ends up there, we have maximum gain of our $600 credit, and then if it goes down, our break even was 673, and then lower than that, you would be at a loss. And then the other side is a bear call spread. So this is just the opposite. This is selling the 680, buying the 695. Again, this play independently would cost you $1,500, and with a break even at 687. And if we're anywhere below that 680 strike, right, we're 100% profit. And anywhere above the 695, we have 0, and then it's kind of a sliding scale in between those 2 points. Now, if we take both of these, and what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this whole, everything above here is a winner, and from here on over, and everything below that is the winner on the call side. And you can see what I did. I just kind of cut those off. So, you know, here's that winning side. Cut those off, and then smush them together. And then this is going to be what essentially an iron butterfly is going to look like. But the big difference, and then because I do just the butterfly in the next slide, but what you're going to notice is this max loss. So you have a lot of red down here. That part is going to go almost away. So this is going to move really far up, and then the max profit is going to go up. And a couple of reasons why. One, market is fair. This instead of giving us all of this area to play for winning and all of this play for winning on this play, we're only going to have this little peak where we could possibly win. So this is, let's see, make sure my face is not in the way of this. Okay, so we're looking at these two plays smushed together, and this is what it ends up looking like. This is what my iron condor actually looked like. So you can see the max loss on the individual ones. You know, they were like $600, $700 max loss. So now our max loss is only $147. So it would only cost you $147 to enter this play. And our max gain is $1,300. So almost 10x the money. But the caveat to this is it has to be right up there in the tippy top. And the other caveat is if you're playing this on Robinhood, they're going to close you out early. So you're never going to be able to get maximum gain, because maximum gain is always realized like at the closing bell, not a minute before. And they close you out about an hour before. Let's see. So this is just kind of comparing the two. I should just probably get rid of my face altogether. I'll stick myself up in the upper right hand corner. So you can see these two plays. This is the put side, this is the call side. And basically these two credits, they're not quite equal to these. They would be if we were dead nuts like right at the center point, but because we're opening this without being right on that center exactly 680, then the credit isn't quite as much, because on one of these we're a little bit safer on the call side because we're a little bit below 680. But you know, all of our advantages is we have very little loss potential, we have super high gain potential, but the market being fair, you only get to make this much money if it's a low probability of happening. So in this case, our probability is pretty low. For me, the chart looked pretty good for this, just since it looked like we had consolidation, especially after that last leg up and the resistance at 700. I thought, you know, somewhere by the end of the day, we were going to end up in this range. So I wish I would have played a couple more of these. I didn't, but this is how it ended up. And what else do we have here? I think that's pretty much it. But you can look at the strike prices of a put credit spread, a call credit spread. You stick them together, and this is what you have. You have an iron butterfly. And the way you profit off this is just time. The other pretty interesting thing, let me grab this guy again. So you can see what happened during the day on this, but you can also see like what happens during the course of the week. So you really just profit at that very last minute. So you can go from all the way from June 28th. You know, this June 28th, this play you could have opened for 20 cents, maybe 21 cents, something like that. And then that 21 cents could turn into a few $100s, which it did. And I opened this a little bit later. I opened it up maybe somewhere in here. There's $4.50 exactly, so I opened this up for $50. So in my case, it was the $50 into 300 and some, or whatever that I'd actually put on there. Now the other thing that I noticed yesterday, let's see, let me look at all my messages. Coca-Cola dividends, yes. Stick my face back down. Let's see. Does it start? Oh, it starts all the way at the end. Okay. So I had all of my other, like my put credit spreads and a couple call credit spreads. Those all expired. So those are all these guys. But this is, so you can see the sellout process here. So let's see. I think on the put credit spread side, when you take it apart, you have the put credit spread and the call credit spread. When you sell, the put credit spread needed to be completely sold, because I don't have the collateral to be able to exercise and purchase the shares. So the selling of the put didn't make sense. And if Robinhood had not closed this out, let's say I wasn't paying attention, or like he ends up like not paying attention or in the emergency room or something like that, and just forgets to manage this completely. If I just didn't close this at all, that side could have ended up just worthless, and I end up with $0. And then the call credit side, it ended up closing out the call I purchased, but didn't end up closing out the call that I sold. So I don't know if that's something that would happen every single time. Like they put in an order to sell it, because I thought it was just at market and maybe they couldn't get any money for it, or if it just leaves it, because I still do have my 100 shares to be able to cover that position if I need to. I can sell my 100 shares at 680, which was the call that I had sold, and a covered call strategy. That's one where you can let that run till expiration, and if it expires in the money, then you sell your shares. Expires out of the money, it just expires worthless, or else nobody would be able to actually play that. So that is that. That is the Iron Butterfly play. I'm pretty excited for Disney. I want to see what they do on Monday. Disney actually had a pretty good drop on Friday, which apparently was a pretty good overreaction. So right about 10 something, I purchased it, and I don't remember if I got it at the bottom, but it seems to be an overreaction. So I'll probably get that out. Do I think Tesla's breaking 700 soon? Yes, I think it'll be between now and earnings, but we'll have to see it tested. I think my guess is we'll have it tested at least 2 more times before we actually see the breakout. We had I don't know if you're watching the chart. Actually, I was super surprised. I never use this. I always just go back to my Thinkorswim, but it's actually a pretty clean chart. Let's see. So I think we did have, we had that one candle in the morning where we actually hit 700. So that was a test. It knocked out that part of the order book, but I think we're gonna need to see a couple more. But yeah, I think it will be for the end of the month. Before the end of the month, we have, when is earnings scheduled? I always forget. Where do they stick earnings here? All right, July 1st. So I think we'll have a run up prior to earnings, and then depending on what earnings is, and I'm thinking it's going to be a beat. There's actually, that's crazy. There's no estimated earnings yet. Yeah, but then depending on what we see, I think it'll be a beat. Then we'll see the reaction. The reaction's definitely been really strange the last several months. They can have a beat and then it goes down. I think it did like right after the first quarter, just because it was a beat, but nothing like super crazy, and nothing super crazy wasn't announced at that time. Oh, and let me grab my sheets, my spreadsheet, take a look at our Tilray play. I did get a sign on the Tilray shares, so now I have 300. And I was really thinking to myself, I'm like, how cool is the wheel that literally, since I bought them, I bought 200 shares at $18.50, and then I was forced to buy them at $17.50. So it's just gone down ever since I bought them, and I'm actually just profitable on purchasing them because of what I've sold on them. So I actually just entered this one little bit. So you can see I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out. This is the wheel spreadsheet I found, and I did a video on it. If you want a copy of it, cool. Let's see. I can actually I think we can do this. Stick a copy of it in chat. Let's see, copy a link. And if we do this and go change it a little bit in case anybody's interested in this. So let's see, we had the 1950s expired, and these expired 7/2, 7/2, closing cost, never a closing cost, and 7/2. You could keep this nice and tidy, but I'm going to keep them in line with whatever happens, so I can see my initial position. I sold puts there. I did get assigned, and we bought another 100 shares. So now next week I'm just going to sell covered calls. My maximum amount, including margin, or I guess excluding margin, I was planning on using margin, it was $4,200. So now you can see I've spent $5,450 on the shares. My just in cost basis, $1,708. So that's my total cost minus the profit I've made. So next week we're just going to stick to selling. We're just going to stick to selling the covered calls on them. And I don't know. I don't actually even know what to expect on Tilray, since I don't really follow. I don't follow the stock like pretty much whatsoever. I know it's pretty volatile, so it can have some good movement, and then it has pretty good premium. So that one will open up on Tuesday, since the market is open, or is closed on Monday. So we'll open them on Tuesday. And then when I was looking at the premiums, I know that they won't be updated until Tuesday, and we do have decay over the extra day too. We have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's worth of decay. But I may open the next set 2 weeks out, since we don't even get a full week, because I think it was over twice the premium that I get. Is this going to load? Come on. Let's refresh everything. Maybe it's not even going to populate. Holy smokes. Wonder if my data just sucks. Let's see, stream health. Warning. Slower than recommended. Yeah, oh well. But anyways, even at this lower level, I mean, our cost basis of 1817, I can still sell these same 1950s, and I think they were around $20 for a week out, $40 for 2 weeks out. Maybe it's just Robinhood that's super slow. Terrible. Robinhood. Wait, no, that it responds. There we go. So we're gonna be selling. So it looked like, let's see, if I sold some 1950s right now, what it shows, and this might go down, or depending on how market opens up on Tuesday, it might be a little bit less. So we're not going to collect a whole bunch of premium next week, but it's still something. I mean, even collecting $30 against them is just fine. In the short term, it can bounce around all at once. This is probably something I'll play it for like a minimum of 6 months or so. but I was looking the following. So if I can get $15 for basically 4 days, or 5 days, or 44 for a week and some, I'll go ahead and skip a week. That's fine, and we'll sell 44. If I can get even $40, that's $120 for the 3 of them. That's good. Holy smokes. Oh, my AC just made some weird noise. Thought I was about to die. I want to take a look at, let me go to, where's my regular charts? Oh, we don't want to see all that stuff. Yeah, so on Tesla though, we've definitely, we've already broken out of basically this. Let me make sure my face is not on the way. But I think we've already broken out of this huge wedge, our next leg up here. And we saw this level anywhere from like the 530s to the 520s with that bit of consolidation before this next leg up that happens. So that's what I'm expecting. That's why I kind of expected some possible pullback to these like 650s ish, but it never pulled back that far. So super good. And then of course we had that ridiculous spike up Friday morning, but I expect a little bit of consolidation around here until our next leg up, and I think it's going to either happen pre-earnings, earnings, but I don't see another big pullback coming. I think the most we'll pull back to 650. And if earnings happens to be bad, but all the indicators are not. And you can see on our MACD, like, I think we'll see some upside. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to go over today? This is like pretty slow, but I understand it's a 4th of July weekend, so people are probably headed out of town. I'm supposed to head out of town, but then for some reason my office decided we're working on Monday, the observed day, and I'm supposed to go like two and a half hours, go out of town, go do something, and then I'm not too excited about driving back, and like with all the drunk drivers and whatever else happens, and then getting up early because I don't know what time we actually end the 4th of July stuff. Dude, Norway, what's up? A Godberg. Wait, is this guy? Hold on. I'm wondering. Dude, California? I used to live in California, never been to Norway. Do you like, let's see, a Godberg. What kind of music do you listen to? Oh no, that's another. Okay, never mind, not Norway. I was like, there's this guy, I really like this rapper, and he's actually, I knew it was like one of the Scandinavian countries, but he's Swedish. I was just curious if you knew who he was. My Spotify is really strange. I think I have equal amount of music from like that is actually in English, and then like the other half of it is in various different languages. Ghostbusters, yes, I totally did go over the fly. We went over everything. I think you can still rewind it though and look at the beginning. Phone was charging for an hour. Time to get a new phone. But yeah, I love some of this stuff, and it's so weird that I listen to so much music that is in other languages that I don't understand. I have like stuff that's like Indian, obviously like Swedish, Chinese, Korean, a whole bunch of weird stuff that I think I have like one of the most diverse Spotifys. I have a few credit spreads on Tesla 650 that expired July 30th. Think it would be a good idea to roll them a little lower. I think 650 is I think 650 is pretty dang safe. I mean, I have, if you want to see what I have, or you probably have, because I kind of go over them all the dang time. But I have plenty of stuff at 650. And it also depends like how much you realize. So I have 650. Let's see, when did you have? July 30th. Do I have any expiring July 30th? Oh, I have them actually have them lower, and I have a debit spread. Oh, what? Wait, what do I have here? Oh, I have a calendar. It was a calendar spread. So weird. It's definitely way different on the desktop than it is mobile, and I barely use the mobile, or barely use the desktop version. I think 650 are pretty good, but if you're feeling uncomfortable at all, roll them out. I mean, with it up pretty near 700, you should be able to roll them out and down for a credit. But I think what I would do is I would probably wait until right before earnings to do it, because we should have, I feel like this next week we should trade pretty sideways, and then we'll have a little bit of run up pre-earnings. So that'd be a good time to be able to roll it out and down, and then you'll have a little bit of that theta decaying at that point, so there's not as much left into it to roll it down. Depends, like, how long ago did you open it, Jacob? German techno? I don't think I've ever listened. I don't think I have any German stuff on my Spotify. I'll have to check it out. You want to recommend any particular thing? And I listen to absolutely everything except for country, but I'll listen to techno. I'll listen to, like, it's mostly like rap and hip hop and stuff. Oh, you just opened them yesterday? You should be good to go. Because you're not, yeah, I guess if you're not feeling comfortable, go ahead and roll them out. But I would, like, personally, I'm holding on to them for a while. You can see what I have. Oh, wait, no, you can't see what I have because my face is in the way. I'll move over here for you. There you go. So let's see. Let's see actually how many do I have. So I have 8 630s next week. I have a 650 next week, and I think I rolled this guy over. It was either this one over not very long ago, and I actually have 7 660s as well, which is pretty aggressive relative to where we are at. But it looks like I have a lot of premium. Let me see what my how long have I had this? I may have rolled this out from a long time ago. I probably did. See if this chart populates. June. Oh yeah. June 25th. Okay. Yeah, I rolled that out a while ago. I got greedy with the 50% return on risk, but I think I'd feel more comfortable. Yeah, then do it. Just roll them out. Why not? It's an XR from like 2.5 years ago. Is that it's the iPhone XR? I've got so spoiled with Samsung because it'll charge in no time. I can't remember what it is, like on the fast charger thing. It's like 25 minutes or something to charge, or charge almost the whole way. But let's see. If you want to rewind it and go through the whole the butterfly thing, but I did have, let me see, where is my, let's see if I can find it. Did I close it out? Yeah, but this was basically our profit on that. So you can see, like, all week, you know, whatever, it just chills. And then this last day, this is basically how and when I profit. So everything decays, you know, hour by hour. It was ridiculous. At the end of the day, so I opened it up for a $500 or $450 credit. So when this goes down, that's what I have to pay to buy it back. And Robinhood closing me out around noon. That's where I had to close it out for $270. But that's, I mean, that was a really good profit. If it would have ran the whole day, so if I would have opened this up like on TD Ameritrade or Tastyworks, I could have realized a 300 and some dollar gain off of $50. So like a 700 and some percent profit gain in just a single day. It's a good hype song. Dude, nice. I'm going to copy that. Put it in my Spotify. Let's stick it over there. I'll check it out. I like all kinds of stuff. Just no country. That's it. It's my only thing I don't listen to. But rap, hip hop from all around the world is super good. January 2023 put spread 670, 660. It sounds pretty good. What's the I would rather buy a call spread just so you're not sitting on the collateral for so long. So if we look at this, I think you could do a lot more. So anything 6 months out or more, like unless you had to roll it out to that point, doesn't make too much sense for me. So what, a 670? Okay. Oops, we're gonna buy this one. How much does this one get you? Yeah, so you're looking at having your $1,000 sit out there until 2023. I mean, of course, you can close it out for some profit. But just wait. Oh, I did call. It's probably going to be the opposite here. Let's swear I know what I'm doing sometimes. Okay, $6 credit. So we're going to have $1,000 sitting out there to gain, like, have a profit of $600 over that. I mean, that's a super long period of time to have it sitting out there to where, okay, so let's see. I mean, I guess since you get that credit, you're gonna have $400 sitting out there, but instead, if we were to buy the 660 and sell this, then your total cost, then you're really only costing yourself $375. You can close it when it's up. You could get rid of the short side, and you just have less money sitting there for that. That's a long time. It's just a long time. And I'll tell you which one I'm looking at, and I think I've mentioned a couple times. I'm looking for as long as possible. I want to look at June, and I'm looking at a 900, 1400. I think it's like $7,000, $7,400. This is the one I'm looking at because Tesla's had a 50% year-over-year growth. So I pretty highly confident that we'd at minimum hit this break-even price, which is, let me see if, oh, my face is not in the way. Cool. And this is a very expensive play, and I get that, but break even at 974. I have all the confidence in the world. We're gonna see 974 like no problem within a couple of years. Which really sucks is this play was only like 5,000 a few weeks ago, and when I was waiting for funds to settle. But this has an upside of like 42,000. That's what I would play if my money's gonna be sitting somewhere. So 7,000 into 42,000 makes more sense to me, and it might not be up there. I mean, if we hit 1,200, it'd be up 27,000. I just want more money for my money, like hanging out for like literally years. Just wondering if you have thoughts regarding trading USO. I don't. I haven't paid much attention to the oil, like all the oil stuff. Actually, I wonder what it. Kind of curious to what it's doing. I haven't looked at USO for a while. I played Oxy at the beginning of the year. Jeez. That's looking nice. Yeah, but unfortunately I don't have any wisdom or thoughts or anything about USO specifically. It'd been nice to pay more attention to it, because I mean that looks like a pretty clear trend on it. Yeah, the only thing I grabbed, wow. The only oil play I played was Oxy. And it was like right in, I think it was like, or was it January? I think I grabbed it January. Yeah, it was right at the beginning of the year. So I grabbed $20 leaps on it. So we're doing pretty nicely on those. And that was just, it was based on somebody made there was a huge sweeps purchase on it. That's the only oil I have played. It was based on somebody else's technical analysis, and once in a while somebody says stuff that resonates with me. I won't buy it just because somebody says, "Hey, buy it." But if every stitch of their research and everything that they say makes total sense to me, yeah, I'll go ahead and jump in. And this person I trusted, and has worked out really well so far. Kind of sucked during this little bit of pullback from the 30s down to 20s, but again, we're doing really nicely. And the funny thing was, on OXY, it was, I can't remember, like either the worst or like top 5 worst performing stocks of 2020. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Let's see. This is, yeah. I mean, because like literally we could have bought anything in 2020, the beginning, and it went up, but this is one of them that you couldn't. I don't, on Nvidia, I have some, yeah, I have some of that on my long term. So I guess my thoughts not following Nvidia really closely is that after the split we'll see some pullback, and that's only based on the other stocks kind of doing the similar thing where people get hyped up because it's a split. I think that thing's just been running though, hasn't it? Good God. I mean, this is what happened with Teslas though too. It's tough because it's like, man, I want to take advantage of that, but that looks, yeah, like RSI shows it's totally overbought, which it has to be, because what is that from? What's that price increase? God, that's just getting ugly. That looks totally overbought to me. But even at the previous highs, a 25% increase in valuation, unless they've had like some super awesome other news, that value doesn't make any sense. RSI shows it's overbought too. So I don't think it's anything that I would jump into right now. Marijuana stocks, let's see. Haha, you have it too. I have Planet 13. Did you buy it at $1 some? I bought it at $1 something. I actually have 700. I have like 720 shares. I bought it at $1 something quite a while ago. I don't have a lot of thoughts on them. Other than I thought Planet 13 looked like a great deal looking at their financials. I'm definitely not a weed guy, and so looking at the companies and just talking to my friends that are into weed, I guess, or whatever, they're potheads and stuff. I just asked them, just kind of for a small anecdotal amount of evidence, like what gets you to choose like one weed thing over the next. And he told me, he's like, well, I go to one store, I see what I want, and then I go to the other store, and whichever one's cheaper I go buy. And I don't think that's a great that's just not the great convincer to get into the weed stocks to me. And I don't know what their upside is. I think once, like, I think the really good weed play is going to be Altria or Philip Morris, like when they get into it, and then all of a sudden you can start buying joints and stuff at the corner store along with cigarettes. I think that's going to be the killer. I've been into the weed store twice, and the first time I had no idea what to expect. I was like, I don't understand this like at all. I've smoked pot before, but it's been a long time, and like at that point it was just whatever. Weed was weed, and then I was like, how can there be like 100 different brands and 100, and I remember like people who sold it back in the day, they would make up the stupid like names for them, like this is Alaska Thunderfuck and Cincinnati Red and like all these different things, but that didn't jack the price up. So I don't understand what the what's going to make somebody come out ahead on that. I just don't really understand. And the other part of it is, to me, like the legalization doesn't mean very much to me, because I feel like, and correct me if you guys know somebody that makes this wrong, but I think if before it was legal, if you wanted to smoke weed, you already smoked weed, and then once it became legal, like obviously you still do, and if you didn't want to, like myself, I just don't want to. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but because it's legal, it's not like, oh, now it's legal, now I'm gonna start smoking weed. It's just not my thing. So I don't think that changes very much. Oh yeah, my Planet 13, I bought it $2.12 a share. That's all I have. Wish I would have bought more. And what's it at? $6.90. Right? Oh. Yeah, Planet 13 is pretty cool. And I just thought that store was yeah. Yeah, they call it like the Northern Lights and everything else. Yeah. All right. Let's see where we're at. $2 to $3. Yeah, and I think I think we're so like, now that we own them from $2 or you own it from $3, like I don't think it matters. Like whatever happens, we just like don't have very much risk. Let's see. I don't even know there it is. Is there a ticker? I think, yeah, we're up to like $9 at one time. I don't know. I don't even like have an exit plan for it. Honestly, I'll just hold it for a while. Oh, and when I do go to Las Vegas, I will go to their store. I will go buy something, and I don't know, whatever. I'll buy some edible and eat it, and that'll be supporting the stock that I own, because most of the things that I own, I want to support somehow. So that'll be my adventure to Las Vegas. Yeah, and then we got all the Alaskan names because I live in Seattle, and then people brought it down from Alaska or whatever. I had some buddies that like went back and forth. You have leaps on Tesla, awesome. Cell covered calls on them, awesome. I wish I had leaps on Tesla. How do I feel Ford compares? I don't think they do. I think Ford is super far behind. I know they're like, they have to get through a lot of production, a lot of constraints, I think, before even like their current valuation should be what it is. Um, I think the Cybertruck is just going to eat that Ford truck alive, and the only thing that can work in their favor, maybe there's just like people who are loyal to Ford, but I feel like that group of people are not necessarily the EV type of people. But then if you're also just like loyal to American brands, then Tesla is an American brand, and you might as well buy that. And side by, like, the range is better on the Tesla. All their kind of like little gimmicky stuff, and it's always funny. This is something that people from other countries always comment on when they come to United States. They're like, "Why do so many people drive trucks?" Because you'll see a ton of people driving trucks that it's not like a functional thing. In a lot of other countries, like a truck is just totally utilitarian, and I mean, you can see everybody driving them here. But I think Ford has a long ways to go. I'm super happy that they made the switch. Like, everybody has to put their kind of their foot in the door with some sort of EV, or fast forward 10 years and they're not going to be selling vehicles. Several of our states have made it like they have cutoff dates. Like, you will not be able to buy a gas vehicle in certain states, and or for certain usage, like I don't remember the post office one, but like certain companies, certain states, and they're all going to become, you're not going to be able to use them pretty much. But yeah, I don't think a comparison at all. I think their vehicles that they have come out with are nice, so they're good, and I don't even know what that. And I think their pricing isn't like that much better. So 1-to-1, I don't see that much difference. And I guess the other thing that the Ford, that Lightning has, is the traditional look of a truck. That could definitely be a big plus too. I watched the fly part. I tried it on Spy and had to pay more to close it. So pretty much, you're just waiting for Theta to kill the contracts. 100%. Yeah, you have to stay in that narrow range. And actually, let me. Oh, I still have. Wait. I still have this one open. This is the screen I grabbed from when I was putting together those like little bit of slides. So yeah, as soon as you're outside of here, you'll be negative. But the break evens aren't very far. And then you can see the other thing is you can see that narrows in on you too. So just looking over time. So like right initially, that first day, or like right as you open either an iron butterfly or iron condor, as soon as the price moves a little bit to either side, you're gonna show you're down on it. So it's a normal thing when you open it up. 1 minute later, you're down on the position. So, but as time goes on, you'll see that widens out a little bit. So your break evens start coming out a little bit. Time moves on, time moves on, time moves on. And then you're still in the middle here. Like, even if you're hitting it dead nuts on this mid-strike price, you still don't have a lot of profit, right? You're still only can be up $40. And then those midpoints, you watch these midpoints, and then they will start pulling in, but the profit will start going up. That's why it's a very like at the midpoint of, like, between when you open it and the expiration date on an iron butterfly, there's this point where you're probably going to win. Like, on some point on an iron butterfly, if it's decently wide, you'll probably be profitable. And then the real risk and the real management and the real keeping an eye on it comes the last couple days, depending on how far out your expiration is. And then, so you can see the profit, right? We were just at $40 a little bit. Now it's at $143. You can see the wings of the butterfly really start pulling in. They really start pulling in. But you can see this is just going up and up. The scale's kind of moving a little bit. So like $250 profit, and it's $450 profit. But these things are pulling in, so it's that very, I mean that very last day or two. That's when, if you're dead nuts up here, you know, you've got your $1,300 profit, but it's a very, very slippery slope. If you're right outside of there, you'll just be down all your money. But the good thing is you didn't have very much risk in the first place. And then we can look at it on the table, which this was like a little bit greener, so you can see. But look at option strat until this chart is almost imprinted in your mind. It's kind of imprinted in mine as to what to expect. You can see like your profitability is a little wide during kind of the middle to like 3/4 in, and then it really gets narrow. But you look at that reward for that last day, you go from $270 max profit to a $1,200 maximum profit. I mean, that's a huge jump, but that's the iron hands, right? Like the diamond hands. If you're able to keep it for that very last day and go from 270 to 1,250, that's super awesome, and it is worth it. If you can do it, your max loss on this huge play, this one for example, is only $150, $147. But you can play these all day long, all the time, and you could, you know, get pretty close to expiration and have a little wider margin there. When we go back to the graph and move it back through time, you can have a pretty wide area of margin. So if you were just wanting to collect 50% back, like you have your $147 out, you know, and collect 50% of that, you can still have a pretty wide area where you can do that and close it out. And if you're to do that time after time, it's probably a little bit smarter. I mean, the fact that it landed within a dollar or two of 680, I mean, there was a reason I thought that was going to happen, but literally anything could happen. And especially on a Tesla that's so volatile, that could have moved $10 like in an instant. Like one little bit of news comes out, right, and it will just swing like right out of my profit zone, and then it's just a loser, and that's it. You got some Tattooed Chef. If people like it in Target and stores in general, what do I think? I've never used it. Is that the... Okay, now I need to look at what it is. Is it Tattooed Chef? What do they do? Oh, it's like just like pre-made food. I know there's some kind of food. Is it all like vegan, organic stuff? I should probably start eating this stuff. I don't know anybody personally who eats this, and it's always hard to go outside of like what you know in your circle and your kind of your thoughts. Like it's like my man from Norway, like you know, investing in vehicles, and the biggest consumer is not even in your own country. That's like a hard thing to... I think it's more difficult to understand, because literally some of the products, like when I drive down the road, I can go count Teslas. I can be like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like at one stoplight now, and so I can see that. That's not going away anytime soon. But I don't know anybody who's eating this stuff. Maybe I should try it out. That was like a super hype stock. Like, I feel like Tattooed Chef was almost like a meme stock. Okay. There it is. Beginning of the year. I feel like that's when it started like getting all the videos and everything, and has that huge run up, and people were buying it and buying it and buying it. But man, how long have you bought it? Tesla's super popular. Yeah, actually I see a bunch of videos. From Norway. There's like there's a guy that makes a whole bunch of videos and like drives a ton of different EVs, right, from Norway. I can't remember the guy's name, but I used to watch him a while ago, mostly before I bought one. And you guys are like super green over there too. If I'm not getting my Scandinavian countries mixed up, sorry if I am. I feel like that's as bad as people getting Asians mixed up. It's terrible. And now that I actually know the difference, I'm like, how could you even confuse Vietnamese with Korean? It's so different. Officer Sausage. Oh man. If you ever feel sad about your life, just remember Marvel paid Vin Diesel $54.5 million to say 3 words. What? I don't know if that'll work to not be sad anymore. Am I supposed to ask the 3 words? Because I don't even know what it was. Lots of vegan. I'm vegetarian now. I watched Seaspiracy, and I stopped eating seafood, and then like on right after I watched that, I was like, okay, this is the last I ever eat seafood. And then right after that, I kind of set a date, and I was like, after this date, I'm just not going to eat animals anymore, and not even for like a health reason at all, even though that's kind of a plus on it. I just was like, just didn't feel that even like animals needed to die for my pleasure, because eating good food, I think, is just pleasure, good tastes and things. And it just, like, for some reason something clicked in my head, and I was just like, yeah, I just don't need them to die anymore. I'll still eat their eggs, and I'll drink their milk, because I mean, I don't know, I drank milk from a human when I was a baby, so I think that's okay. My mom didn't die, so I think that part was okay. And hard to give up butter. I think being an actual vegan has got to be super tough. I mean, I had my first experience going out to a restaurant as a vegetarian, and it's like, cool, you have this super big menu and there are 4 things to eat. Where did you have a Godberg? Where do you have your leaps at, just out of curiosity? Are they like in the money that you bought a long time ago? If I bought leaps, I think they'd just be at like 900. How far out are they, out of curiosity? Did I always want to invest in the stock market when I was a teen? Nope. My first actual investing experience sucked. I went through a God, who was it? I can't remember. I can't even remember the brokerage, but like trades used to cost us a lot, and I remember like I think I rolled over like a very tiny 401k into this company, but they charged like this monthly fee, and I remember my first stock purchase was Microsoft. And I didn't contribute to it, and literally they liquidated the stock to pay the monthly fee, which was super high, and given it wasn't a big amount of money, and so like the monthly fees just took away all my stock, and I ended up with 0, and it was so stupid. Dude, congratulations on that leaps. That's nice. But yeah, my Microsoft, and then I looked into it. I had completely forgotten about it, and I think the brokerage might not even exist. Like, they got bought out by somebody else at this point. But I went to look at it. Like, I was chasing down a few. I had like a couple 401ks and stuff from previous jobs, and I was like, I need to see what's going on with this, and stuff I left alone. And I chased it through like a few different brokerages, and I found it, and they're like, yeah, that account was closed. you had like whatever these crazy fees were, and then like, so I had actually a negative balance for the account because I kept adding fees even after my stock was gone. And yeah, so that was my first experience with it. So not great. And then during what was that? I think it was like 2000. It wasn't the 2008 crash. Probably .com bubble or something like that. Like when a whole bunch of people at work, they saw all their values like drop super heavily, and they're just like, screw this, like I'm out. So that was kind of what I had in my mind mentally. Like it was super risky. And then like just as time went on, like I opened up some long terms. Mostly it was just like ETFs. And then it's really been the last few years where I got really interested into it. And because information's so readily available, now it's just 2020, 2021, 2019, awesome. Like we can get so well educated about a subject that we don't know anything about, and then learning the power of options is just like absolutely amazing. So no, it definitely hasn't been like a long-term thing. And then I started just posting stuff. I don't know if you hadn't heard me talk about it before, but I got super hyped like the beginning of the year, just learning about all of it. And then obviously I had really good success for during the downturn when work was closed down, I could focus all my time on it. And I wanted to talk to like my colleagues, my friends and everything. Nobody was interested, so I was just like, yep, let me post a video of my account. Like my first one was probably just my account, and then it's kind of morphed into this. Made myself do these live streams because they were really uncomfortable. Like being in front of a camera is not comfortable for me. It is way more now, but 6 months ago or whenever I started doing it, I was just like, I'll put it on the schedule and I'll do it every week no matter what until I'm comfortable. So I started doing that, and now I love it. Now I have people I can actually talk to about it that understand it, or even better yet, when somebody doesn't understand it and I've wrapped my mind around it and I can figure out a way to communicate that well enough to where somebody gets it. Like that is so rewarding for me. I love it. I hate fees. Yes. I mean, we all pay for it no matter what. Like we pay for this stuff one way or the other, whether it's an actual written fee or the bid ask is farther apart. So we get more slippage probably on Robinhood, but the free trades, those are nice. Those are for sure nice. Right, Mara? No, you're like no comments specifically on them. I bought them. Got a little bit of run up, sold out, and I went through. I don't know how old you are, but I went through like the last whole crazy Bitcoin run up, and then and all of crypto run up, and every single altcoin and all the ICOs, and then saw it drop. So I've definitely been less excited about it. I've been mining crypto ever since then. So I have rigs out in my garage that I've been mining with, and they just sit, do their thing, provide a little bit of heat for the house actually, because they run so hot. I can just open up the garage door and let some heat in, and that's just been accumulating, and that is my crypto play. I don't really have a need to invest in the companies as well. And then obviously, so that's done really well for me, especially when it was up at, like, Bitcoin was up at 60, like absolutely amazing. So, but most all of it's been just held in Bitcoin, and that's been what now, 2007, so 4 or 5 years I've just been mining. And on the same, and I haven't upgraded a stitch of equipment either. Oh, what is mining crypto? So you can do it on like any computer. The way, simple terms, you use a computer, or more specifically like a graphics card for like people like me. There's other people that also, they have machines that do this. They're called ASICs. But the way Bitcoin, or a lot of the coins come into existence, is you basically solve a math problem. The math problem is very, 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 very difficult to solve, but once it's solved, you get rewarded in whatever that crypto is that you're mining. And so yeah. So like once you actually solve a problem, you get crypto deposited into your wallet. Do I have any pictures of my mining rig? Let me see if I do, or I'll just like look up one. I should just do live stream. I should just like live. I can do it live with my phone and go out there. But these are pretty much what it looks like. Basically, a bunch of graphics cards doing math, generating heat. Let's sell them up, get one coin. Yeah. So because the math problems are so difficult, you operate in a pool, which is just a whole bunch of people working on the same problem, and you agree to split the profits or the coin with all those people. And that's just how it happens to be, because otherwise the probability, like even if you have like one of these rigs that are I don't know, like for example, here's one for $5,000. You spend $5,000 on one, the probability of you actually getting rewarded a Bitcoin is so low. Like you may just never ever be rewarded. So everybody operates in pools. At least now they did. It was crazy because you used to actually be able to mine and get rewarded. I've only paid attention a few times. I actually did mine and an Ethereum once. I remember that because I just happened to be watching it at the time. But other than that, it's like the computing power goes into a pool of people, and then every certain period, whether it's like hourly, daily, or whatever, then you get rewarded with whatever you're mining, Bitcoin. And then there's bigger pools that automatically switch what you're doing, what you're trying to solve for, and then they just will pay you in Bitcoin. So that would be like nice hash. That's the real easy one. Like if you have a decent graphics card, like probably a 1080 or better, it's worth it. You can, while your computer is not doing anything, you can have it mine. It does generate a whole bunch of heat, and it uses a whole bunch of power, like a lot and a lot. But you can actually be profitable for the money you're spending, and your computer can sit there and make you extra money on the side. And if you have a Bitcoin wallet, you can just have it deposited into your Bitcoin wallet, and it'll, you may get $1 a day. But there were points when I got into it, I think on my more expensive graphics card, like we were making $2-3 a day per graphics card. So the payback period, you could buy a graphics card and it would pay itself off in the matter of two weeks or so. And if you're ever into building computers or anything like that, or saw graphics card prices, that's the people you can blame. You can blame me for the prices skyrocketing, because if I could buy something and then it paid itself back in the matter of weeks or months, I would do it. And it didn't matter. I could spend $2,000 on graphics cards. They pay themselves back, and now like they've been working for me essentially for free for the past like several years now. But now some of my stuff's kind of, they're definitely like outdated. I have a few 1050s, 1060s, 1070s, 1080s, and then I have the AMDs, 580s. I think they're mostly 580s, a couple of 480s. Same here, gravitating more against safer companies, industries. The wife is calling, have to go soon. Is it linked? Yeah, I'm trying to commit to be more active in there. I have been. I think it should be good. If it's not, like, leave a comment on a video, or like all my videos in the past. I have a VA, and she's the one that, like, you'll see like one thumbnail and then it'll get changed. She does all those, and she does all the links and all that stuff, because I just like record it, and that's why I can just easily make a crappy video on my phone, talk to it, upload it, and then she updates it. So yeah, if it's not, you can find it there, or just like leave a message on any video, and she'll respond. Might take her a day. Yeah, and safer companies are nice. They're just nice overall. They're more comfortable. I don't want to take part in the next like downturn. My girlfriend was huge. She bought a crap load, like $40,000 worth of Dogecoin, and then, I gotta watch her dance around the house. When it was, let's see, she bought them at like 4 or 5 cents, and then she was dancing around the house forever, like every day, because it went sky high. And then I gotta see her be sad like as soon as Saturday Night Live was over till now. Is your Discord the same one as Amplified Traders? No, I have one on my own. Like, I pop into Logan's every once in a while, but I haven't been lately. Just other stuff to do. And yeah, I have one on my own. It's not really active at all. Just probably, well, 100% my fault, because everything I do is my fault. But I'm trying to get in there at least every day now. I'd like to build it up like a little bit more. And I think Logan and I mean, we're pretty similar, like, on our thoughts. But I definitely stick to a more narrow range of strategies, and he's much more technical than I am, for sure. Like, his technical analysis is spot on. It's super awesome. My link would be in every other video except for this one right now. Just probably go find one from a couple days ago, and my VA, she's probably put it in there. You should be able to find it. I don't have it handy. Or this video, like, if you wait until Monday, this video will have all the links, I'm sure, in the description. Any advice what stock options to sell cash secured puts on for weekly income? Yes. My advice is to sell them on a stock that you want to own. That's it. That's it. Because you can't sell the puts on a stock that you're going to be pissed if you own it, and then you're going to be pissed if it goes down. You want it to sell it on a company that hey, if it goes down and you own it, cool. And if it goes down more, cool, because it's something that you want to own for the next few years anyways. I'm doing the will on Tilray right now, which is definitely Tesla. Hell yeah. If you have that kind of money, for sure, for the collateral. I mean, that's an expensive, that's $70,000 worth of collateral. And especially when you say puts, that means more than one. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. If you want to be safer, you can go to one of the ETFs. You can go to SPY. I don't think anybody would ever mind owning some SPY or the Qs or something like that. I started doing the will on Tilray, and that one's, like, for me, is kind of perfect. The premium's pretty damn good. It's not a stock that I hate owning, but it's not also when if I get assigned on them, and if I sell calls on them and get called away, I'm not going to cry about it. Like, oh no, I really wanted to own the stock. I'm just kind of in it for the premium and the profit. So, and that one, I think last week we were a couple $100 on it, but since it's dropped, where is it at? Here's the Tilray. And I've only been in this is like my third week playing it. I'm only up $44. But of course, that's while the stock is down. um, and just kind of experiment. But that's, I mean, 3 weeks. That's 1%. It's not bad. Or what is it? Overall profit 0.8%. 1% a month is not bad. It's not, it's not great. And I expect, with the volatility, that will be up and down. But we'll see how it ends up. You can live vicariously through me and see how this ends up. I have a buddy that exclusively did Tilray. Actually, it was Afria before Tilray, and that's all he has done. He started off with like 50 grand or something, or 20, I don't know, 25 or 50 grand. He's over doubled his money. So I was like, cool, I'll try it. Same stock. Premium's pretty good. We've sold $325 worth of premium on it so far. But next week will be more profitable. I sold Tesla 680 strike puts. I had 3. Nice. That's a lot of cash you're working with. That's a big account, man. That's awesome. You sold the 680, like when did you just sold it, like on the weekly? So you're like just straight up after the premium. That's cool. I don't even know where did it begin the week at? I should know that. My favorite company. Nice. With an account that big, you probably know better what you're doing than I do. Jeez. Some days, I'll tell you what, I wish I would just kind of go all cash and do that same thing, though. Because it's, man, feels like easy money. The only thing I would hate about doing that is like if it like I sold that put, it rips up, and then all of a sudden, like, instead of being able to purchase 300 shares, now I only have the purchasing power for 200 shares because it just ripped up from like one of those crazy legs up, and it goes from like 700 to 1,000 or something like that. And maybe it's just, I mean, just because of that. I mean, I guess, let's see, 430. I mean, I guess there was pretty much another chance. Oh, really? You're really new to selling puts? Yeah, I mean, a volatile stock that you can collect good premium that I wouldn't mind owning. Yeah, Tesla. Like, there would be no other one that I would love to do it on. Like, if I just had a couple $100,000 in cash and I wanted to sell puts, 100%, it would be on Tesla. Like 100%. 100% would be on Tesla. The only thing that, like I said, that sucks is the rip up to me because I want to own. I mean, I just want to own more. I think we counted up our shares. We had 621 shares between all the accounts. So I guess I'm still positioned decent even if I took this or not this account, but like the Robinhood one to all cash and sold puts on them. It'll be all right. Yeah, that's how I ended up with my Discord's free. And I'm honestly not as active as I should be and want to get more active in it. But I think I had some projects that I kind of got through that I should be able to get a little bit more, do a little bit better. Well, been at it for an hour, almost an hour and a half now. I think I'm gonna get going, get some projects done around the house. Go cut some grass now that it's not 108 degrees out. Unless there's any last questions, but hopefully we got through everything in an hour and some. hour, yeah, hour and a half. But thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. This is what makes it super fun for me. Really enjoy this. Just talking back and forth. Not only this, when you guys ask questions, but like when I get challenged on things, and because I certainly don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. As soon as they think they do, they don't know anything. But I really, really appreciate you guys showing up. And we will probably see you. I don't know if I'll do something on Monday, but definitely Tuesday. We'll see you then, and then hopefully next week you'll stop by again for a live stream. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Happy and safe 4th. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you later.